name's Dustin. Thank you all for joining us today. We're getting ready to get started here. Thank you all. I think we already got 6 people, 5 people waiting. So thank you guys for joining in. Hopefully you guys got some topics, some questions you can throw at me today. I'm always willing to take a look at those. We're going to fix something real quick. Let me know if I got audio. If I don't, just let me know on that. But we're going to get started. Okay, awesome. Looks like everything is up and rolling without a hiccup. We're zoomed out a little bit more than I want to be, but that's okay. We'll deal with it. And hopefully I'm centered. Now that I'm looking at it, it looks like it may not be, but we'll deal with it as we go. How's everybody doing this morning? Thank you guys so much for joining. Today we are going to be doing a little bit of the shipping that we always do, but we've also got some other topics to talk about and show you guys some stuff as we did last week. Kind of show you what we did over the weekend, and we're going to do that again. And my labels fell off my wall here, so we're going to put those back up. But yeah, thank you guys so much again for joining us. Let's get started in today's topic. So we're going to go right into shipping and try to move through this quicker than before. I've actually got some boxes set up and ready to go instead of trying to do everything at one time. So hopefully we're a little bit more prepared for today. Thank you for joining, Jeremy. How do you suggest building up a role in the fastest way possible? Building up a role. I don't know exactly what you mean by that, unless you're talking about money or inventory. Let me know, because it's kind of two different topics there. Are you looking to build up your inventory as far as, for selling, or just overall what you're wanting to your cash roll, I guess you could say, as in money? Okay. Retail arbitrage takes a long time. It does. Yeah, we can cover that. Magic Delco with his levitating labels. You like that, right? They're just like hanging. Thanks for joining in, Adam. Appreciate it. Yeah, so let's go right into that. We'll start with that topic since we already got it in here. But first, we're going to ship our first order. The first order going out today are some Nike Essential Boxers. Love these things. These sell quick and normally can make a pretty good profit. Pop these. Actually, we paid up for these. It looks like a little bit. We paid 17 for these, but we did sell them for 40, and those will be going out. Looks like to, I'm not even sure what that name is, Houston, Texas. So as far as building up money, so the whole idea, especially if you're new to this, building up money, or as far as, to be able to get into online arbitrage, is just going to be trying to purchase, I guess what I would call cheap inventory. That's how I started. I started buying, stuff from bin stores and stuff like that. Cheap inventory, you make a lot more profit on it. It does take a little bit more time to list those items because you have to make sure they're good. And we've actually got a video on this. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it as a live or a full-on video. It's going to be kind of long. But I actually go in and talk about how to start sourcing inventory. And that does kind of roll into how you can make your money. If you're just doing it as a reselling portion, then that's what I would do. Start with doing used thrifted items, whatever you have available. Start looking around your house for stuff. I have all kinds of stuff I should be selling because I don't use them or whatnot. So definitely recommend starting off with cheaper inventory. That way you can build up that inventory and get a solid base of it. And I know that's not exactly probably what you want to hear as far as if you're trying to get into retail arbitrage. But that's the best way you can do it. Adam, Millennial Profit, if you see in the chat, or check out the link in the description. I actually have the link to his channel for, I think, the cribs tour that we did. But you can check out his channel. He's got a great example of how to start off building inventory in his flipping from zero series. So I don't get paid for this or anything like that, but check out his content because he's got a great flipping from zero. He starts buying stuff from his house, stuff that he had around his house, to buying stuff from bin stores and thrift stores. And I think, Adam, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you're 6 months into this, if it's that. And he's already built like a crazy amount of inventory and a crazy amount of bankroll in his, or cash in his bankroll, so to speak, already. So definitely, it's just a grind. You have to keep building on that. You can't, unless you've just got money laying around. I still wouldn't even recommend going into retail arbitrage. Even if you've got money ready to be invested into it, I would recommend starting off with some low cost inventory. Find out what you like to sell, find out what sells quick, what sells good for you, and build from there. How many we got going out today? So today we have 30 orders, I believe. I've got 35 or so, but I've only got labels for 30. So We got 30 orders from Saturday and Sunday. I did get my orders out Saturday, or my orders from Friday I shipped Saturday, so it's 2 days. Not as good of a weekend as I wanted to be. We're only at about $1,200, I think, $1,300 in sales, but we'll take it. I mean, it is what it is. It's that time of the year, kind of. Let's see. I better start paying you for all these free plugs, right? No, just started month 10. Okay, all right. So it has been a little bit longer than I thought, but still, to go from that, if you check out, I recommend starting at the beginning of that series if you're going to watch it, because it really shows you, and literally how he starts is almost exactly how I started. Had I've been doing that for a while, but that's how I started with the bin store items and stuff like that, and built it up into it. And it took me a year. I did bins for a year, part time, and then a little after I started full time is when I switched over to retail arbitrage. And I don't run out of sourcing opportunities. I run out of money. That's my issue. So, it's still a struggle, but you just have to build that up. You can't jump into it right away and expect to have complete success on it, unless you've had some experience reselling in the past. Hope that answers, Jeremy. If not, let me know and we'll try to get along with that. Just start month. Oh, okay. Yeah, just start month 10. So hopefully that helps out. Yeah, building it, like I said, it does take time. It's not going to be something you can just jump into, and start making crazy money, especially if you're doing retail arbitrage. I put myself on a salary, and basically anything above that salary that I make, I put right back into inventory. And I still do that, and I'm still constantly doing that. This is the first year where I'm actually going to try to percentage it out and take and invest about 20%, 30% more than what my cost of goods is back into it. If it's not exactly how I should word that, but to limit kind of what I'm putting back into the business, just because I need to be able to kind of build up a nest egg for bigger opportunities that come along, as well. So like I said, I've got a video. I've been thinking about it, trying to figure out how to present it, and I do want to cover it on that. It goes into a little bit more depth, and I actually have it planned out, so it's not just me rambling, trying to think off the top of my head. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a grind, but once you get it started, and sell what you like, find the stuff that sells well for you, that you enjoy listing, that'll make your job 10 times easier. And I guarantee you, there's never a time, once you learn how to source and once you start learning what your categories are and stuff like that, there are very few categories out there that you're going to run out of inventory on. I mean, literally, this weekend is a perfect example. We're going to talk about it. I kind of put it in the title. What is the title? Is there still profit left in the last day of a sale? And to answer that question, there is. But we're going to talk about what we found. Completely unplanned sourcing trip, and spent a whole bunch of money I probably shouldn't have, but I couldn't pass it up. We need a Delco flipping from zero challenge. Dude, I don't know how you keep up with all your content on there. And look at me, I'm not even gotten one order out. I don't know how you keep up with it, Adam, because I have a hard enough time coming up with ideas on what to talk about in these, let alone trying to come up with like different series and edit the videos. That's one of the reasons why I do these over edited videos. Number one, I feel like guys like Adam and some others out there have some great content, and I don't need to go remake their content. I really do feel that way. But the second thing is it takes me a lot of time to edit, because I am a little OCD. I want it to be an exact way, so it takes me way longer than it should to edit videos. But yeah, like I said, it's one of those things. I don't know how you keep up. I really don't. It's crazy to me. You have no life. Hey, I tell you what, I feel like I get on the phone with like my parents and stuff like that. I don't live close to them. I'm about 8 hours away from them. I get on my phone and I talk, and like I feel like I have nothing to talk about, because I feel like I don't do anything other than just work, and I still don't have enough time. So I forgot to grab this. Let me grab this item. Of course, when I go and pick these things, I try to get everything picked so I don't have to do this, but I did forget one. We've got some Under Armour boxers going out. These are some that I actually have been running out of different sizes on. So we have these Under Armour boxers here that we picked up for $12 and sold them for $32. And those are going out to Ringgold, Pennsylvania. But yeah, how's everybody's weekend going? Or I guess it just started. So how did your weekend go? That should be the question. Like I said, I'm going to tease a little bit. I am not going to ship all these orders right away. I'm going to ship some of them, and then we're going to skip over to the topic of the video itself, and then we'll come back and finish the orders. But I want to kind of give it a little bit of a mix-up and not have you guys just staring at my face while I package orders for the whole entire time. But we'll talk about that a little bit. And like I said, that actually ties into kind of what we talked about last week as far as setting up a schedule and trying to follow it. And I'm going to give you an idea of how my schedule started off at the beginning of the week and how it ended, because as always, it did not end how I thought it would. Things change, and as a business owner, you really learn that. Even as a business manager, you find your plans do not ever go as expected, so you kind of have to build in some time to catch up on things. But when running your own business, it does give you the ability to change up your plans if you need to, and that's what happened this week. So next order we've got going out is another Kohl's clearance event that we picked up. These sell like crazy. I don't know. I've picked these up, I think, the past 4 clearance events from Kohl's. I personally think they're ugly, but that's just me. And I can pretty much sell them in any size, selling them for $39.99. Now, I am selling these on Amazon, but I haven't had any issues with the Adidas slides coming back due to size issues. I don't think I've had any of these returned, knock on wood. And I've sold probably 20, 30 pair of them already. They're not the greatest looking, but they sell for retail. The retail price is $39.99 for them, and I think these ones we paid $10 for on the most recent event. Like I said, I keep finding them. I always grab them when I see them, and I still, even though I go, it's been over the past 6 months, I still find them. Size 8s. Let's make sure those are size 8s. Do take the clearance tags off, and if you're like me and you almost forget them like that, this one had 4 clearance tags on it, and I almost forgot these ones. Customer would not have been happy. Not have been happy on that one. But yeah, we sold these. So last week, like I said, I talked a little bit about, I think, what I had planned for the week, and it did not go as planned. I had planned on getting all the hats that I purchased from my bulk buyer, all of those listed. That was kind of the goal for the week overall, and then I had to split into days. At the end of the week, I only ended up listing the bulk hats, or the ones that I had several of each. I end up with a lot of one-offs, and so I kind of separate them into 2 categories. Oh, these tags are so annoying. But I did not get that done. So instead, on Monday, I had planned on obviously doing the live like we did last week. We did that, and then we also planned on getting our just odds and ends of tasks. So this takes up a few hours of my day, and then mostly I'll go through and either edit listings or stuff that I need to do, deal with returns, or anything like that that is going on. I kind of do those on Monday. It's kind of my admin day. Did the similar thing whenever I was working for Hobby Lobby and Sears, just kind of taking Mondays as your admin day to get caught up from the weekend messages, whatever it is. So we did that, and that went to plan. And then Tuesday, our whole day, we spent literally listing hats, or excuse me, photoing hats. All I did was photo hats. That took a lot longer than I expected because I didn't realize how many individual ones I had. But we got all the photos done on them and got that done. And so we were kind of on task. That left us for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to get the listings done, as well as a few other things. So we went into Wednesday with the plan of listing hats. But something came up. I actually had a chance to go to lunch with my wife, which doesn't happen all the time due to the vehicle situation. So went ahead and took that time. So that took a little bit of my day, which was completely fine. That's the whole point of doing this job, is you can make time for certain things, and family is always one of those things that's super important to me. So I try to take that time when I can. But we wanted to go ahead and do that. And then we did the shipping for the day, obviously. And then we also went ahead and did the odds and ends of listing. I still had a few shoes and stuff like that from some Kohl's events that I needed to get out. And so we went ahead and did those. I think I had like 3 or 4 pairs of different shoes that we were doing there. And so we got those shipped out, but that kind of took up the day. And then we also did take our packages to the post office and talk to them, because I have been having an issue. What I've been having is, for some reason, a few of the items are getting scanned in when they pick them up, and then they never update. And a few of those items did go through to my buyers, but a couple of them did not. And so I actually talked to the supervisor. Supervisor is super cool at my local post office. One of the perks of living in a smaller town is that you can talk to them, get to know them a little bit better, help them out when you can, and then they'll help you out in return. So that was super nice. He was more than happy to help me out. He actually contacted the hub and everything else to try to find out what was going on. But I talked to him, and he said to go ahead and file an insurance claim, which I had actually already done. And talked to him about that stuff. He was going to try to look into it and see what was going on. So that was super helpful, but that took up some time. I think I was there for like an hour or at least 30-40 minutes talking to him and trying to figure out what was going on with that item. We saw another pair of these Adidas slides going out to another buyer for $39.99. But yeah, so I talked to him for a little bit to try to figure out what was going on with that. And so that took up my day. So we kind of, not that we lost the day, but we weren't able to get as much done as I had hoped. But we still got some accomplished. And that sent us into Thursday. So Thursday, I was like, all right, Thursday, Friday, we're just going to bulk, sit down and just list hats. List all the hats and get caught up back to where I was kind of up to date. I think I had a little bit of Marshalls and Ross stuff that I purchased a couple days ago. But other than that, we would have been up to date on it. Turns out that was not the case. We got, I think, all the bulk hats done and a few others. Grabbing an item I forgot to grab here. And a few other items listed, but really didn't get into the individual hats, and I still have a ton of those to go. So I planned on doing that Friday. Friday, though, we ended up having to go to town, which is an hour or two away. Bigger town, I guess I should say. And we ended up getting a surprise sourcing trip in, which is kind of one of those things that happens. So we had to go over there, and I didn't want to necessarily waste the whole day just driving over there and back for one or two things. So I decided to go ahead and hit up my hat supplier. But until that meeting, I actually had, let's see, sorry, I'm losing track of myself here. Mr. Roy bought this one here. Roy bought this Browning's hat. Picked these up for $5 at a hat sale that we cover in bread and butter. If you're interested in that, hit me up. But we did get the Browning hats here. Picked them up for $5 and selling them for $29.99. So not a bad profit there for a $5 pickup. But yeah, so we ended up going to the hat supplier, my hat supplier. But on the way, I decided to go ahead and stop at a bin store because I had a little bit of extra time before we were supposed to meet. So stopped at the bin store. I actually didn't find much, but stopped at a different one than I normally do. Found a few odds and ends. Was kind of looking for myself. I wasn't really looking for inventory, but we did find a few things. We'll show you that here in a little bit. But we also did picked up some supplies. I picked up some of the cling wrap type stuff for like wrapping pallets and stuff. Super helpful if you're moving shelves and stuff. You could just wrap the shelf with that, and then the stuff doesn't fall off of it and so on very easily. So was able to pick up like 4 rolls of that, 4 or 5 rolls of that for $8, which is super cheap. That stuff is not cheap to buy when you go to buy it in a retail store. So we did pick up those and a few odds and ends, but not a whole lot. It was a little bit slower than I expected. And then we hit the hat store, or not the hat store, sorry, the hat supplier of mine, and they had a ton of hats. I ended up with like 300 more hats, of course. But all of them were like, I was able to pick them up for like $2.50, $3 a piece. I can't say no to hats when they're that price, especially. We'll show you. I think I can show you some of them that we picked up, and I just can't pass it up. So we ended up leaving with 2 IKEA bags full of hats. Sold some more of those Under Armour boxer briefs, sorry, for $32. I didn't call that out, but I just stuck them in the box here. But yeah, ended up with a whole bunch more hats from my hat supplier. And it turns out my hat supplier was right next to an Academy Sports. Now, if you're in bread and butter, you probably see my post on this, but that's what we're going to be talking about and actually showing you guys what we got. Decided to go in, have been seeing some stuff about an Academy clearance sale, and it was actually posted that yesterday was the last day. So this was on Friday. I went in, and then we went back Saturday, but Friday I went in, decided to go ahead and see what odds and ends of stuff were left, and ended up leaving with an entire cartload of $5 and $10 items, and just crazy good deals. We'll show you guys here in a little bit when we skip over those, but I couldn't believe some of the stuff that was still in there. And we actually had talked to some of the managers and stuff. I talked to one of the associates while I was in there, and they were getting ready to send all of it back. Now, Academy, I believe, normally liquidates their clearance, so anything that doesn't sell through their clearance sales, they send back to the vendor, and then it gets liquidated. I've actually purchased it in bin stores before, not that long ago. So I was really not expecting much to be in there, but they had a ton of stuff. Ended up leaving with a cart full and spent like 2 hours in there sourcing through that stuff. And like I said, we'll show you guys what we got. It was a crazy, crazy haul. Probably just as good, if not better, than the Kohl's clearance event, which is one of my favorites. So we'll talk about that a little bit more depth. But like I said, that kind of is how the weekend went. Saturday, I actually went back to another one, the other one in the location, and checked out that one and ended up with a whole another cart and a half to almost 2 carts from that store. So we ended up with a lot from that sale. And it would, like I said, it was literally the last day or last couple of days of the sale. Could not believe what was still left in there. It was crazy. But we'll talk about that in more depth. But that's how my week went. So as you can see, I did not get my plans done, but we ended up still taking advantage of the time, and we didn't waste it. We didn't just take the day off like a lot of people think we do. This is a set of light pods for off-road trucks, anything like that. These are a plug that I picked up Black Friday, I believe. I'm into side-by-sides and off-roading and stuff like that quite a bit. So it was really cool to find something in that category that I could sell. These ones here, we paid, I believe, $57 for these, and we are selling them for $170. So a nice come up on those, and they sell pretty quickly. I bought a ton of them. I think I ended up with over 100, I think 120 of these at the time is what I purchased. And yeah, we're actually down to, I think, like less than 20 left. So been selling really well, sold really well through Christmas as well. But I cannot complain for that type of sale. And like I said, it's actually in a category I really enjoy. So I love being able to source that. Not something I get an opportunity at a lot, but those opportunities are out there. And that's kind of one of those bulk deals I was talking about as far as saving up money. I love to invest all my money back into inventory, but sometimes you have to save it in order to have that amount to purchase those big deals. This being one of them, my large hat deals being another, just different ones like that. It can vary from time to time on what you're going to find, and you want to have that money available. Give me 1 second. I apologize, guys. This is going to probably be a little bit loud. I guess I could have muted the mic for you. But anyway, that's how my week went. So busy week, and ended up with a lot more inventory, but that means we got a lot more to list and a lot more to work on, and hopefully a lot more to sell. So we'll see how it goes. So I feel like I've been rambling, guys. How everybody hanging in there with me? Appreciate y'all that are still watching. Anything that you guys have had going on, or something that's happened this week that's been kind of different or surprising, or anything that you've got, not even questions, just topics that you want to talk about, let me know in the chat. I appreciate it. Love those chat messages. It keeps me from looking crazy just standing up here talking to myself, which is all right. I'm talking to you all, but you never know. Sometimes gets a little boring. Let's put it that way. Next up on the sale, and I peeled this off without checking. I believe we paid $12 for these, or let's see, yeah, $11 for these slides. These are some Nike. Are they Victories? Victory? Yeah, I don't know. There are these flower Nike slides. Picked these up from Kohl's clearance event, $11, and they are selling for $34.99 right now. Depends on the size on these ones. I have a ton of these in different sizes that I did pick up from the last event, and they are not as high as I was hoping they would stay, but some of the sizes have stayed in the $30 to $35 range, which is nice. So that's what I choose to sell them at. And I do keep them there, guys. I don't adjust my prices on these ones or items that I know sell. I just wait for the market to come back up. You have to do that with the Kohl's clearance events because the market just tanks. Everybody gets them and wants to quick flip them. And you can do that, but you'll make more if you hold it, as long as you don't have a problem with trying to get your capital back. It's what I would recommend versus just tanking and dropping and trying to do that. I don't, some things you don't want to keep a hold of for a long time, but this stuff, especially with brands like Nike and so on, you can't really go wrong with that. Now, I had a label fall off of the sheet, which is crazy. I've never had that happen before, and now it's all messed up. So hopefully we can still use that one, not have to reprint it. These slides are going out to Catherine in, let's see, Somerville, South Carolina. Got to find the label here. Somerville. Bear with me. There she is. All right, got those going out. So anyway, what else have we done this week before we get into some of the other So you guys may notice that I talk about buying hats all the time. Now, that's not only because I love hats. I do really love hats. It's one of my favorite things to sell. But one of the reasons I'm buying so many right now, especially these cheaper ones from my supplier that I'm getting, for a couple bucks, I'm buying as many of them as I can right now, and I'm not even being able to list them all because I'm ending up with so many. But the reason I'm doing it is because I'm not going to have this source forever. This is one that I know I'm not going to be able to maintain once I move, which really sucks. I'm hoping to find one where I'm going to be moving to, and we'll see how that goes, to be able to kind of supplement that. But what I want to do is I want to take advantage of it right now. So I'm kind of doing this as an investment. I'm actually not even going to list a lot of them right now unless I just don't have anything else to list. I'm going to prioritize listing all the other things that I have first because I want to keep my sourcing the same level, but use this as an investment to list later on and hopefully have enough inventory to keep me rolling through my move, and just capitalize on the source. I'm not going to have this, like I said, so I want to buy as many of them as I can, to have just a large supply that'll keep me going once I've moved and I don't have those sources anymore. I wish I would have went sooner to Academy. It was loaded last day, so I can only imagine. I know that's we're gonna. I'm having a hard time not talking about the Academy sale, so we're gonna try to ship quicker here than what I'm doing, uh, because I want to talk about it. It was crazy. I said the exact same thing. Me and Recon were talking. Recon's and bread and butter, a buddy of mine, and we were talking. And it's like I wouldn't have even been able to. I would have had to make multiple trips if I would have caught this ahead of time. I don't know why I slacked on it. I guess I just didn't think I needed any more inventory. But yeah, I seen your post, and like I said, I posted too the same thing. I so much inventory on the last couple of days. I can't imagine what they had when the sale first started. It was crazy. It was crazy. For those of you watching, I promise I will get to that. But I gotta tag you guys along a little bit here, keep you guys interested in the video, so you'll keep watching, becoming a true YouTuber, clickbait, all that good stuff. Hopefully this isn't too loud, guys. But yeah, I cannot believe how much inventory or how much good stuff they had left. And I'm not talking. And what's crazy about this sale was like it wasn't like you were having to like sort through a bunch of junk. Like everything was good. Like everything was comping. The only area that I even ended up um not looking through was like the kids stuff. That was the only thing that I was just like I'm not even worried about that right now because I'm finding too much stuff. I filled my car on Friday. Pretty much I could have gotten a little bit more in there, but I filled it all up. And then when we went back Saturday, I ended up with goodness, I had to have ended up. I don't remember. I don't remember exactly. I'll have to look it up. But I ended up with so much stuff. It was almost a full cart. It was 2 cart loads, and it almost filled up my car because of some of the bigger items. It was crazy. Let's see here. Looks like I may have oversold something. That's not good. I'm gonna have to look it up. I don't know how I oversold that one. We sold some of those Nike boxer briefs that I showed earlier, and I don't have another pair in large. So I either have to look through my totes, but we'll do that in a minute. Sorry guys, I don't know why I'm so parched here. So we'll have to look that one up in a minute. We're gonna skip it. But yeah, Academy sale, goated. I think the next one that comes up, I'm gonna be standing in line like I do my Kohl's one because I honestly found more stuff I enjoy selling at this one than I do at the Kohl's even. And it was great stuff. I mean, super good stuff. Can't wait to show you guys. Stick around. It's coming up. Sold 2 of these Browning hats. These were also another $5 pickup from $5 hat sale. And I can't tell you where those are. I do want to protect this. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I've seen so many people tanking hats recently. I don't really want to share where I get any of my hats. And I know that's selfish, but that's what you have to do when you have your own business. It's been bad. Like, I've seen a lot of people posting, hats that they're selling for like 20 bucks that should never be selling for $20. And I'm not saying that none of them should. Obviously, I mean, there's going to be hats that aren't going to be worth that, but I don't know. So that's one of the reasons, guys. It's not a market that sells quickly. It is not a market that is going to. Uh, I don't think you could sustain a full store on it, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's just you have to have a ton of inventory, guys. I have over 5,000 hats. I think now I have to look that up. I know it's over 5,000 now. Maybe not what's listed, but I know I have over 5,000 hats, and they are not going to be your quick sellers. I sell, this weekend. Let's see, two, four, six, eight, 9. So I guess that's 5 a day. That's actually pretty good. But um, normally I'm selling, maybe probably 3 to 5 hats a day is what I sell, and I've got 5,000 listed. That's not a good return. Like that's if you look at it, it is for what the items are, but it's not your one per every 100 sale. And I feel like that's what a lot of people need to understand is hats are not going to be a fast seller. They're not going to be um, they're not gonna you can hold on to hats for years before you sell them. I've had hats, the actually one of these, this one right here. I This is one of the first hats that I ever purchased from a Burlington that we sold, and that was over a year ago, year and a half, something like that. And it takes longer. I've had hats that haven't sold in that time. So I don't share my sources in a selfish way because I don't want them to be kind of taken advantage of and then just tanking the market. I can't afford that. So it's kind of one of those things. It's a downfall to it, but I do try to share what I can. But unfortunately, you probably won't hear me talk about hat sources very much because I protect them with my life. Let's see. You don't want to give your source because you know Paragraph is listening. I know. No, gotta watch out for Paragraph. Let's see. Is there a reason you shop everything? Oh, ship everything priority over ground. Priority cuts so much more into my profits. Okay, so uh, this is something I've covered before, but I know we got a lot of new viewers, so I do cover. I don't mind the question at all. Um, I have access to a corporate shipping account, and with that, I get priority mail for close to the same price as what is it, Ground Advantage normally is. So the reason I ship priority mail is though it's not going to cost me anything more. For the most part, it's not going to cost me anything more. I get to use the free boxes, so that's one of the biggest advantages, and it looks good to the buyers. Since I have access to that, um, it gets there a day quicker sometimes, sometimes not, but that's the reason for it. So I have a corporate shipping account. I don't ship through eBay or Amazon. Well, I do ship through Amazon on their stuff because I don't want them to come after me for not having saying it didn't arrive or whatever. You do get insurance when you ship through. If you ship print, excuse me, if you print your shipping labels through Amazon, then Amazon will most of the time protect you if the item says delivered and the buyer says they didn't get it. But if not, they are not going to. So, for instance, if I shipped this item to an Amazon customer and they said they didn't get it, um, Amazon's going to say tough luck and they're going to refund the customer. So that's why. But yeah, that's why I ship mostly priority mail. Like I said, I that's why I don't cover shipping costs and stuff like that because mine aren't going to be exactly the same. But I don't really save a ton of money doing this. I do in the fact that I get to use their free supplies. That's where I save my money. But most of the time, my cost, except for on heavier items, are going to be the same as Ground or Vantage. I just get to use the priority mail just because of that. Great content. Is there a reason? Okay. We're sorry, I gotta keep up with the comments. Thank you guys. I appreciate the comments. It makes it so much more entertaining for me. Great content. How do you keep track of cost of goods? I know you add purchase price to your custom SKUs. Do you also keep track on a spreadsheet? So this is a really good question. I recommend doing that, but honestly, I don't have to keep cost of goods tracking for my taxes, which is what a lot of people do, just because I do cash accounting. Um, I do keep track of it, and this is the first year I'm actually working on this a little bit more. I don't have a spreadsheet, but what I've been doing is I've actually taken, I do have a spreadsheet, but not by item per se. I take and go through at the end of the week or at the end of the month and add up all my cost of goods from my solds. So I go through my solds and I have those that right in the SKU so I can see every single item, and I go through and manually do it. I'm listing, I think I'm having about 500, was it 500 solds a month? Is that right? I think it's somewhere around there. I think it's like 500, 600 solds a month. And I just go through and calculate it. It takes me, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes to an hour to do that at the end of the month. and I'm actually just keeping a tally for the month on how much I'm spending. That's what I'm doing in my cost of goods. I do recommend doing the individual, but it's really hard, especially when I have over 2,000 active listings now, to search through all those. I know a lot of people that do, and honestly, if you set that up from the beginning, it's probably the best idea to do it. Keep a spreadsheet and just keep track of it that way. But for me personally, I don't keep per item necessarily. I just go at the end of the month, I add up all the cost of goods for the items sold for that month, and that gives me my cost of goods sold for the end of the month, and then I can tally those up at the end of the year and get kind of a rough percentage. Um, I would like to switch over to doing an inventory. If you watched Millennial Profit, another free plug for you, Adam, he talks about this in some of his videos. How he does his accounting. He does an inventory at the beginning of the year, gives it to his tax person, and that kind of covers what was sold and so on. It's not an easy task, but it's one of those things that it is really helpful to have, because you can then see how much you're actually making off of stuff. Do you make all these sales in the weekend? Yes, all these sales are from Saturday and Sunday. Do you wholesale ever? I do. Every now and then. I haven't done in a little bit, but hats. I do wholesale hats every now and then. Most of the time, that is in the bread and butter group, and I hope to be doing some more of those here in the future if I can keep these sources supplying. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, I do every now and then. I don't do a whole lot of wholesale for other stuff that I find. I like my inventory. The only time I'll ever wholesale like other stuff out is just if I end up getting a huge bulk buy, then I'll do it that way. Helps me recoup some money, and so on. I don't remember what I sold here. Oh, the 2 Browning hats. Sheesh. We're gonna spend some time today, guys. So yeah, that's what I look at. Like I said, whenever I as far as wholesaling go, I just kind of do that whenever I just end up with too much. It is a pain to inventory once a year, but it's better than doing by sale. It, yeah, exactly. That's I don't know how. There's some people bread butter, and like I said, I guess maybe if you're not doing as many sales, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but if you're not doing as many sales, it is a lot easier to keep track of. It's really hard. Usually takes like a month to do it. I know that's why like I did it last year. I didn't do an inventory. I shouldn't even say that. I didn't even do an inventory. I went through and made everything that I had in my totes was listed on eBay. So I did more of a I don't know, an inventory to check to make sure my inventory counts were correct, not to even keep track of cost of goods. And that took me I think 2 weeks, something like that. And I don't have as much inventory as you do. I mean, it's a lot of work. Coming from a retail background, I know it's a lot of work. It used to take us 2 weeks planning to do a whole store, and that's with like 30 employees working on it for 2 weeks. It's a task and a half. It really is. Um, Not something I look forward to, but it is something I'm probably going to have to start doing here pretty soon. All right, let's move on. We're going to ship a few more items. We're about halfway, guys, and we're going to do the halfway. Then we're going to go out and show you guys what we got in the Academy sale, and then we'll come back up and finish the orders. How do you take images? Take images for listeds. I just use my phone, if that's what you mean. Most of my items that I don't use stock photos for, I do use stock photos for a lot of things because I only sell new. But like for instance, hats and stuff like that, I have a Lightroom. I can actually show you that if you remind me. I'll show you that out in the kitchen area. That's where my Lightroom is. I have a Lightroom that'll take photos of like hats and small things or damaged items or anything like that. I do use a lot of stock photos though, because I've got a whole theory on that I'm not going to bore you guys with, but it's just one of the things that I do for most items if I can and they're in new condition. This is a bin store item that I sold that I'm a little worried about. This is a Horizon Hobby. It's just a remote for like an RC car. This one here, I sold it as untested, 4 parts only, had it all listed like that. And the last like 3 or 4 things I've sold like this have led to either a return, item not as described, false return, or negative feedback. Really hoping this one, the buyer paid attention. I put it in the title, I put it in the description, I took the photos, I did everything I could do to make sure that they knew this was a untested. It may work fine, but it's completely untested, and we'll see if it comes back or not. I really hope it doesn't, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, as far as the photos go, like I said, I use a photo room, or you don't even have to. Or a photo box, I guess is what it should be saying. You don't even have to though. Some of the items I just take, I just make sure it has decent lighting. Take it with my phone, and then I do use I think photo room app. I have I think a monthly subscription or something like that to it, and it works really well. It's not super advanced. It's not a Photoshop or anything, but it seems to work pretty good, and it can remove the background. So even if you take an item on your table or on your counter, you could take an item photo right here on the desk. You can remove the background, and I like to do that. It doesn't take too much time, and it automatically does it for you with most of the time never having to do a whole lot of adjustment. We sold that remote for $39.99. So 4 parts for $39.99 is a little bit higher than what I expected to sell it for. And I'm like I said, I'm just hoping the buyer actually paid attention to the listing because I really don't want another return or negative feedback. I ended up with 3 negative feedback in the past month. Literally buyers not paying any attention to listings and then getting mad that they didn't receive a brand new item. Like, I don't know how you can, I don't know. The last item that I got negative feedback on was a exact same thing, a 4 parts joystick for a computer listed in the title, description, condition, everything, and they still got away with returning it as item not as described. Left me negative feedback, the whole 9 yards. Oh, I take that back. They didn't return that one. They just left me the negative feedback. So I did still get the money out of it at least. I guess that's good. But I was frustrated. It was a frustrating week, guys. That's why I was talking about that Monday deal. Was not fun. But yeah, this next item that sold, I can't show you because I already boxed it up and forgot that I didn't have the label for it. This was a San Diego Padres 5950 hat that we bought for $12 or somewhere around there, and sold it for $50. I was just talking to somebody about what's it called? Hey, what's up, Goon? Thanks for joining in. Appreciate it. That is the man, the myth, the Goon. Good old Goon. We like to go back and forth, all in good fun though, on bread and butter. Like to talk the trash. You gotta do that every now and then. No, I appreciate it, brother. Appreciate you joining in. Thank you guys for all of you that are watching. I really do appreciate you sticking in there, hanging out with us. Like I said, we did sell this hat, and it's going out to Luis in San Diego. Imagine that. Padres hat going out to them. Love me some hats. Let's see. Who is the Goon? He's the myth, the legend. Oh, it doesn't say the legend, does it? It says the man, the myth. Nah, he's a good buddy. Good guy to talk to in bread and butter. That's one of the nice things, guys. I talk about this, I think, every episode, but it's one of the reasons I do these is to kind of want to build some sort of a community, not necessarily just a community, but a way for resellers to have a place to come in, talk, chat about different ideas and what's going on, whether it's in their business. I don't want to just talk about myself. Like, I really don't, and I don't know everything. I am not an expert in this. If you've hung around or watched some of my previous videos, you've seen some of the stuff I've bought, and some of the things that I've sold, or some of the things I oversold. I'm no expert by any sense. And the reason I'm doing these is just to give an idea of an area that people can kind of hang out, enjoy some time, whether it's talking about, what we do, or it's not gonna work, what we do, or, what's going on in our businesses. Sorry, I think that's really loud. You guys can tell me if these sounds are too loud. I'll try to mute before I do them. Hear that? But no, just a place to kind of talk about, because that's one of the things I struggle with. I've got some reselling friends, obviously a bunch of these guys in here I talk to all the time, bread and butter. And I've got some family that do this as well, but not everybody understands. It's just like working in a very specified field that not everybody understands what you're doing, and nobody else is going to get excited about buying 250 hats. Like, that's not most people's priority per se. So it's one of those things that I just want to have a place where I can come and talk, and you guys can join in whenever we get a chance to, and kind of give you something to keep you preoccupied while you're listing or shipping or anything like that. Do you sell on Poshmark? I like Poshmark. No, I know what you're saying, man. Poshmark, I do not. Poshmark, I've always known as Poshmarker. Man, that was good, man. Uh, I don't, and the reason I don't is because I've never done it. If I'd started cross listing and stuff, I might, but I don't do it. I didn't get into clothing as a main category, and I always thought that's all Poshmark was good for. Was clothing, so I didn't really get into it much, and I just don't have the time. Like I sell enough on eBay and Amazon that keeps me way busy. Is that Hayden? Dang. I think he just sells on Bonanza. Yes, Bonanza is the bomb. I didn't even know what Bonanza was. Of course, nobody hardly knows what Bonanza is, but I seen a whole bunch of jokes about it in a reselling video one time, and they were just ripping it up one side and down the other. And I was like, "What is this?" So I actually looked it up. I was like, "I have never heard of it." It's like Depop. I think people are selling on Depop. I don't know anything about Depop either. I don't think it's as bad as Bonanza, but I don't know what it even is. Is that bad? I guess that shows how connected I am. Who is Hayden? Yeah. Is it you? Man, I guess I've never actually paid attention to who Hayden was on YouTube. Appreciate you joining in if it is. You know, just me rambling. These guys I've talked to in real life, they probably understand why I constantly talk to them when I do get them on. Gotta have somebody to tell about my amazing deals. It's like Recon yesterday. My buddy Recon was talking to me, telling me all about his academy hauls, and making me jealous, bro. He was pulling some great stuff out of his stores, hitting like all of them, I think he said, in Florida or something. I didn't show this. Wow, I just stuck it in the bag and didn't even show it. I'm a great YouTuber here. This is a JanSport backpack that I bought from the bins. Didn't realize it was damaged. It's actually got like dirt stains on it. It's not dirty. I actually tried to clean it up and it didn't clean up very well. But like on the sides, it's all kind of, I don't know if it's stained. I don't know what you call it. But I did photo it. Again, put it in the description. Damage stained right in the title and everything. It does have a defect salvage tag on it too. I should have paid attention to. Next Hat Brick King. He is. He's buying the crap out. I told him I better not catch him tanking him. But he got some good stuff. He got some good hats. This one here is going out to Gladys in Castro Valley, California. Sold this for $25. I actually had one that wasn't damaged. I got both of them from the bin store. Sold the other one for like 50. I think 45, 50 bucks. I only got 25 for this one because it was damaged, but we'll take it. Not a bad. If I bought this at a bin store, guys, I paid like max $8. I think I paid like $5 for these when I seen them, but definitely can't go wrong with that. Ship it in a poly because why not? It's not gonna get hurt. No, bro, that's me. You guys are pulling the bread and butter stuff. Let's see here. Going to Gladys. Yeah. All right, we've been doing this for how long now? Have I tagged you guys along? 47 minutes. All right. Tell you what, let's see what the next item is. We'll list one, or we'll ship one more item here, and then we'll go talk about the Academy sale, because I'm having a hard time not talking about it. You all are making me jealous. It was until your team just paid $108 million a season. Okay. I don't know which one you guys are talking about. Sports. I watch football, that's it. And I barely know what I'm talking about with that. All right. Let's go on. Let's see here. What is the next? Yeah, we're going to skip over to the next section here because the next item I have to actually package up quite a bit, but we'll hold off on that. All right, so let's go ahead and grab the camera here, guys, and we are going to go out and show you all what we got from this crazy, crazy sale. Hopefully this isn't too bulky here. Let's see, can I flip the camera around? Oh, I can. All right, perfect. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and head out to the garage, or not the garage, excuse me. It's going to be a little bit dark here in the house. Let's talk about what we got going on over here. So I am going to set up the camera, and hopefully you guys are going to be able to see what I'm doing without too much of an issue. Actually, yeah, we'll do this way, I guess. As you can see, hopefully, gotta adjust it here. Let's see comments. Sorry guys, this is not professional, but we're gonna work with it here. All right. So as you can see, guys, I'm gonna have to kneel down here. Hopefully, no, you're not even gonna be able to see me. Sheesh. Just ignore me for a second. We'll get this set up. There we go. All right. Is that better? All right. So this is all what we picked up from the Academy sale this weekend. And like I said, guys, it was crazy what we pulled out of here. I'm going to go ahead and actually pull some of this out and show you just for a little bit of difference. But we're going to start off with the big items. I actually picked up two of these. These are paddle boards or SUPs, SUPs, whatever you want to call them. These are like $600 retail. They're selling for about $400 on eBay. There's only a couple sold. I'm going to try to sell at least one of them. I'm going to keep one for myself and sell the other one locally. Should make a couple $100 off of it. We only paid $130 for them, and I think we can get an easy $300. So I picked up two of those. I should have picked up the rest of them, but I didn't. I didn't have room at that time, and then I waited until the next day to try to grab some more, and I regret that now, but it is what it is. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and just show you guys some of the stuff that we picked up, and I'm going to actually sort some of this while we do it. What's up, puppy? Oh, they can't see you. No, stay out of there. Stay out of there. Nope. All right, get out of there. All right. So we picked up these Dallas Cowboy shirts. These are Nike Dallas Cowboy shirts for $5 a piece. Can't really go wrong, especially with Dallas Cowboys. Though we should be able to get, I think these were selling for a minimum of like $20 on eBay. I did comp like one of them, and then I just grabbed the rest. So $5 Nike shirts. I think we picked up a total. We've got some more in here as well. Picked up a bunch of these Nike. What are these called? They're just the running. I think they're just like the standard running shorts or whatnot, in several different colors, several different sizes. All of these, I believe, were $10. Yeah, these were $10. Comping for like 30. I want to say 30, 35 on eBay pretty regularly. That was a jazzy design. You like that? Yeah, it gets pretty crazy. Sorry, if I miss on some of your guys' comments, I apologize. They don't show up on the camera very quickly, or very long, I guess I should say. We got these actual Columbias here. Again, $10, and they were selling for like 30. What does it say on your welcome sign on the table? Oh, mi casa, su casa, but mi tacos is mi tacos. Can't, you guys come visit my house, but you can't eat my tacos, basically. Another pair of those, like I said, Nikes, again, $10. I'm not going to show every single one of these, but we picked up these guys, tons of these Nike shorts. I think that's actually all I've got in this bag. Some sweat shorts, or terry shorts, I guess you call them, too. Again, I'm checking the tag because some of these were 5, but most of these were 10. Selling for, like I said, when I comped all these guys, there was nothing selling for less than 30 on a lot of these. So definitely some good pickups. And like I said, we ended up picking up tons of them. They had all this stuff. This is what I was talking about when I walked in. I could not believe they had all of these still in the rack. I want to know so bad how many they had to begin with. Like, how many did I miss out on? $5 for these ones. These were selling for 30 also. Cannot complain with Nike shorts for $5 to $10. Again, yeah, $10 on these ones here. And we were being able to find all sizes, guys. These weren't just like, all the big sizes. There were some big sizes that were left, but a lot of big sizes. The next thing, and this is actually what got me started, as soon as I walked in and seeing these, I knew it was going to be a good sale. These are Chubby's brand. If you're not familiar with that, I wasn't familiar with this until I got a crazy deal at a bin store a little over a year ago. Was able to pick up these Chubby swim trunks for $5 a piece at that bin store sale, and we loaded up. I think I ended up with 200 pairs, and I literally sold out of all except for I think I had like 15 pair left after the summer. That crazy good bolo. If you ever find these were $10 a piece, but these are actually the really nice ones. They've got the liners inside of them, or not liners. I forget what they call it. But these should be an easy $40. I saw all my Chubbies that I sold last year were nothing less than $40, brand new with the tags, and we found a bunch of these. So super happy to find those. I'll show you some of the other styles that we got in those. And then the last thing we did, we found all these women's Nike running shorts for $5 a piece. I picked up, I think, all of them except for I think there were some 2XLs I left because they had like 20 of them. I didn't pick up all those. I probably should have. And I regretted it as soon as I left the store. But $5 a piece for those. Can't go wrong again. Dallas Cowboys and Nike are the way to go. One of the nice things about living near Texas. We got some more, again, more Nike shirts. These are actually women's, I think these ones were, if I remember correctly. Yeah, the women's Nike Cowboy shirts for $5. Take those all day long. We got more Chubbies. This is what I'm used to seeing in the Chubbies, all these crazy prints and stuff like that. Super cool, super unique, I guess I should say. I wouldn't wear them, but again, $10 a piece for these guys, and we found tons of them. Some, let's see, are these the same? Yeah, these have, again, the inner shorts in them as well, and these should do an easy $40. Definitely a huge bolo. If you have not paid attention to them before, definitely pay attention to them now. They're a very quick selling, very high sell-through rate, especially once we get a little closer towards summertime. We also found a pair of pants too. I didn't even comp these. I think they were $10, but I don't think they're going to be an issue. During that bin store purchase that I got, like I said, I ended up with like 200 pairs. Some of those pairs were just the khaki regular shorts too, not the swim trunks, and those were even selling for I think 45. So huge bolo, guys. Like I said, I don't know how many I ended up with. I'd say 20 to 30 pair easy from the Academy sale, and these all came from the Academy sale. Let me go ahead and click on the comments here, see if I missed any. No, can I not see them? Nope. Sorry, guys. It doesn't even let me pull them back up. That's crazy. Oh, there we go. All right. No comment. Okay, cool. So yeah, that was our haul there. Again, I shouldn't take all the time, but I'll go ahead and scroll through here and show you guys more Nike Cowboys. Again, more of those. What else we got in here? Some more sweat Terry kind of styles. Even got us an ink tag. That's cool. Hopefully they didn't leave too many on. I'm sure there's a few of them on here. The ladies were trying their best to get this done as quickly as they can, but they were not having much luck. Held up the line forever. Customers were mad at me, but you know what? We made our money, right? All right. What else did we get from the Academy sale? I don't want to go through all these. Let's see. I'm just going to check this bag, make sure this is all the same thing. Didn't miss showing you guys anything. And it looks that way. Oh, we did pick up some North Face shorts as well. There was only like one pair of these, but North Face shorts paid, looks like $10 for them. And I think these were selling for like 45, these particular ones. So another nice pickup there. These are all just Nike shorts. We picked up some hats, of course. I have to pick up hats anytime I see them. I'm late, but what's in the breeze box? So this is a paddleboard, I think they call them sups. I don't know what's that, stand up? Yeah, stand up paddleboard is what you would call it. Yeah, picked up 2 of these for 130 bucks each, and retail on them is $6.99 on the tag, but you can pick them up around $500-600 bucks anywhere else. Hopefully going to be able to sell them locally and make a couple hundred off of those. And like I said, I'll probably keep one anyways. My wife has one, so I might as well keep one so we can go together. But yeah, I'm kicking myself. Even the more I talk about it, I'm kicking myself for not picking those up. We picked up these Falcons. I don't know why in the world there's Falcons in Texas. Yeah, thanks. I debated so long on it, and then I decided to do it, and then I regretted not doing them all. But I couldn't believe it. I don't have the space. Like, I really don't have the space. It's in my kitchen. We're going to have to take them to the storage unit, but I just couldn't pass it up. But yeah, we picked up a ton of these for $5 a piece. Can't really go wrong with these, even though they are Falcons. They probably won't sell super fast. But these salute to service do really well, and they actually age really well. A lot of people that liked a particular style will go back and buy them, as well as if, for instance, they didn't see, they're just getting into sports, whatever. I sell a lot of them. So happy to be able to find those. Wish I could have found some more teams, but we didn't. Picked up the Spurs one for $5 also. Just a flat bill, size 3/8. So no size tag on it, so we might have to drop it a little bit, but cannot go wrong with a $59.50 for $5. We also picked up these. I didn't comp these. I should have, because I don't think they were selling for much more than like $15, but we only paid $5, so still make a little bit of money on them. These are the soccer, but they're Adidas brand. I'm not sure how well they'll go as far as quickness. I don't sell a ton of Adidas sports apparel. I've never really found that much. So we'll see how long they go. Go on, buddy. Some more chubbies in here. I think these are all chubbies actually. Found an Under Armour sports bra. Don't normally pay attention to them either, but when I seen they were $5-10, scanned it, and they were selling for 30 to 40. Can't go wrong. And yeah, that's all that's in here. So let's move on to something a little more interesting. In here, we've got a bunch of cleats. We've got these Puma Ultras. These are not super high-end cleats, but they're selling for 10. Or I'm sorry, purchase them for 10, and I think they're selling for like 40. I think it's pretty much 40 all day long, maybe a little bit more. So can't complain with that. These were out of box, and we did pick up, I think, 4 or 5 pair of those. Picked up some other New Balance cleats. Again, I don't remember exactly what the comps on these were, but they weren't any less than 40, because we don't normally buy shoes unless they're more than that. I just don't like messing with it. But yeah, I believe those were at least 40, 50 bucks. Let's see, what do we got in the next box here? In here we have some Under Armour cleats. I don't even think I comped these. These were, like I said, they were $10 is what I paid for them. Don't even think I comped them though. Probably should have, but for $10 for Under Armour cleats, that's pretty good. We even got a pair of Hey Dudes for $10. These were selling for 40-ish. Ugly sweater color, so it might take a little bit to sell, but should do well here soon. What else we got in here? We got some New Balance. I think these are just those, but yeah, some more of those cleats, $10. Picked up these Charlie. I don't even know the brand, and I hope I didn't get hosed on these. Who is Big Leb? I don't know who is Big Leb. I don't know what you guys are talking about up there. We got these cleats. I looked them up, and I think they were selling for 40 to 45. Weren't very many comps on them, but there weren't many actives either, so I took a chance for $10 on those as well. I'm trying to get this back in the bag because I got to take these to the garage here later. This bag of shoes here is something that I've not sold before, but I looked up comps and the sell-through is really good. And they seem to be doing really well, selling for about 60 to 70s. If you know Michael Jordan, he's like that when it comes to reselling. What are you doing in here, bud? He's gonna say hi. No, you can't even say hi to the camera. You're too short. Puppy dog in here. But yeah, so we picked up these, what do you call them? Waders? Water boots? I don't know what you call them. But these are the original Muck Boot Company. And these were going for, I think, minimum of $60. $60 to $70. Oh, you guys are talking about Caleb. That's who you're talking about. $60, $70 on these ones is what they're selling for on eBay. And we picked these up for $10 a piece. Picked up, let's see, about 6-8 pairs of those. So should be decent. They're big. That's the only issue I see. So they're going to take up a bunch of my space. But couldn't pass that up. 10 into $60 and $70 is good money. We also picked up these. Are these New Balance? No, these are Pumas as well. These were comping for, I think, 50, if I remember correctly, 40 to 50, if not more. I will comp these before I list them, but we picked those up, got 6 pairs of those for $10. Underneath this is some more of those waders, different brand, and those are actually selling for 80 to 90. We picked those up for $10 exactly. What else? I think that's about it. We did pick up a few items from the bin store. I actually found these Under Armour, what do you call them? I can't even think what they're called. But they had the pads and stuff in them, kind of like a legging with the pads. Picked those up for $8. Picked up this Carhartt, or no, this isn't the Carhartt. This was a, what's the name brand on this? This is a Kenneth Cole jacket that we picked up from the bin store. I didn't even open it to make sure everything was good on it, so I'll have to go through and make sure no zippers or anything like that are messed up or missing buttons. But this was comping for, I think, $180 to $100. Brand new with tags. MSRP is like $250 on it, so we might be able to get a little bit more. But I don't know a whole lot about the brand, but for $8, I couldn't pass it up. It's a large jacket. May have to wait till next year to sell, but super high end, or at least higher end. I shouldn't say super high. Caleb's in here. He's gonna get me. Just mention another sport. He will something there. I don't know what you guys are talking about. But keep it up. The chat helps the algorithm, I'm told. And then we also picked up this Carhartt jacket as well, again for $8 from the bin store that morning. Let's see, I never even checked these, so hopefully they're not too tore up or stained or anything. But big jacket here. Looks like it's got a few little marks on it, but I think that'll come right off. And these were selling, I think, for 40, if I remember correctly. But really nice Carhartt hoodie. Carhartt always does really well, especially when you can find it new with tags. Picked up a game of some sort. These were selling for about 40. Parks game. I don't know, looks boring, but got that. And then we picked up some car parts as well. I don't know anything about Pokemon, so hopefully I didn't get taken on this one. The plastic wrap is off, but it's still sealed, like you can't open it. It's still glued to the box. I seen some without the plastic wrap selling for like 30, 25, 30. So I decided to grab it. If I can't sell it, I'll give it to somebody and they can rip it and see what's in there. But just a elite booster or elite trainer box, Scarlet and Violet. So $8 for that. Also got a few car filters and stuff like that, but we aren't going to show everything because some of that is boring. So that is what happened, guys, and that's what I'm talking about with surprise sales. So this is, I had no intention of actually going and picking this stuff up. I'm gonna grab you guys here from the camera or from the tripod. All right. Didn't have any intention of actually sourcing, but but we ended up with all this stuff. Ended up spending, I think, over $1,500 or something just in the weekend. And that's what I'm talking about. You end up with all kinds of inventory that you never imagined buying when you check out a sale. But that was the last day of the sale, guys, or the second to last day. I guess I lied a little bit on the clickbait on the title, but second to last day, we were able to clean up all that from that sale. Can't imagine what we missed in general, just if we would have gone sooner, but it is what it is. Over here, too, we did have some of those ball cats I was talking about that we were buying. I'm not going to give a whole lot of info on that, but can't pass some of these up, especially for $2-3. I think that was in there. Let's see. We got some other ones. Yeah. Anyways, we got a whole bunch of those, and we'll get around to listing that. This is what I'm talking about with individuals, guys. These are all the individual hats that I have, one-offs and stuff that we still have to list. A lot of work to do, but it's coming along, and hopefully we won't have too much more time in doing that. So that is what it looks like to accidentally source a sale, I guess you could say. When you're not planning on sourcing and you end up with some crazy opportunities. And that's what I'm talking about, guys. I want to have a build up to where I can afford to go in and take advantage of those sourcing opportunities and not just have to rely on, whatever I sold that week to get me through. So we're going to flip the camera back around here, finish up our shipping, and see what else we can do. Let's see here. Oops. Oh, geez. Sorry. Got it all mixed up. I forgot you can't just choose which way it goes. All right. So let's get back to the shipping. Thank you guys so much for those of you that are watching. If you haven't already, appreciate it. Hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. And hopefully you guys can do that for me. I would greatly appreciate it. We're going to finish up some of these orders. And if you guys have anything you want to talk about, now I can view all the comments you guys left me. Let's see. I think I got all those. You guys are killing it over there. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining. Like I said, appreciate all your guys' support. We're going to finish up the orders here, show you guys what we got going out, and hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing that. But crazy deals. Crazy deals out there. Always more inventory to be found. Just gotta sometimes look in places you didn't think of. Had no intentions of sourcing that sale, literally. Just happened to end up right next to it, and it paid off. Crazy good. Next thing that we sold, big old Iron Man Funko Pop here from my collection that I've had. Way too big to be storing, so we did sell him. Sold him for $40, and got to figure out the best way to package him because it's gonna be a bit of a pain. Let's see here. I enjoy selling big items like this to get it out of the way, but I hate packaging it because it doesn't just slide in a box. That's what I really wish it would work out like, but got to do what we got to do. Anyway, let me put my labels up here. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to make my pickup for the post office or not. A funny story with that. I was talking to my the supervisor, like I mentioned earlier, and he was telling me, he's like, hey, just want to let you know we actually set you up on the commercial pickup line. So now I've got the big truck, or the big like box truck that they're coming to pick my stuff up. I guess they got tired of filling their entire small one every now and then. So But he was super cool when I was talking to him about that issue I was having with those certain orders. He's like, yeah, no problem. He said we went ahead and set it up for that. So hopefully that'll be a later pickup, and they won't necessarily surprise me with a pickup every single day like they do now. Sometimes they'll be here at 8, sometimes they'll be here at 2. It just kind of varies a lot on the day, but hopefully that will help out some with that. But super cool guy. If you guys use your post office, I recommend anytime you have an issue, go in and talk to him, but don't be that customer, I guess you could say. Don't be a Karen, because it can really help you out. It can lead to a lot of opportunities, like, for them to help you out. I've got a couple of their numbers now that they've handed to me. I know they're not supposed to do that, but they've given me, hey, if you need a pickup later or something like that, and they'll let me know, or I can call them and let them know. So it's always great to have that opportunity, and you don't want to jeopardize that, because shipping is like the biggest thing in our category. You can't, if your post office doesn't like you, you're in trouble. It's just how it goes. Don't be a goon in the post office. Exactly. don't, don't go in looking for a fight. Oh, I see so many people do that, and as being from customer service, I understand it. I don't want to help people that do that either. Man, I really got to get better at this. That was super loose. I thought that would be a lot tighter. Uh, yeah, don't be that person, because at the end of the day, they can really screw you up if they want to. And not everybody wants to do that, but especially if you're in a small town. I'm in a very small town. Everybody knows everybody here. And so, like, all the post office drivers know me. They know, not necessarily me, but they know my stop at least. And I've got some people that I know that work for the post office, and they talk about it, and they're like, yeah, so and so doesn't like doing your pickup or whatever. Like, it's kind of one of those things. But just try to be as courteous as you can. Solve their problems. Don't be a pain, and then they will help you out and return the favor most of the time. I say most of the time. Good evening. What's up, Arnold? Thank you so much for joining. Hey, I appreciate your comment and like earlier. Do appreciate that. It's always helpful. So thank you for joining in. We are going to try to do, I said this last week and I didn't get to it, but we are going to try to do a couple of lives throughout the different weeks in different times, just to kind of get a little bit of an idea. The next video that I want to do is talking about sourcing. I can't remember what I had. I already have the title and everything for it. Talking about the different types of sourcing and so on. That's probably the biggest question that I get. The people that literally ask me, where do you buy your stuff? How do you get into it? How do you find stuff to buy? So I want to cover my opinion on it, and my opinion is not going to be the same as everybody else's, but cover my opinion and kind of hopefully give some info and some insight into that. It's something that it's kind of hard to do because it depends on what you sell. Not everything is going to be, you know, profitable, or not everything, or not every area is going to be perfect for everybody. You may not source at the same stores I do. But at the same time, there's so many opportunities out there to source that, you know, you can't. So many opportunities out there. You just have to find those opportunities. You don't. It's not something that anybody's going to just be able to tell you where they are, because I have different opportunities here versus what you're going to have in your location. When I move, I'm going to have to kind of restart and find some more of those. But there's so many opportunities to get sourcing and product and inventory and stuff like that out there that you just have to know what you're looking for, and hopefully that video can kind of lead into that and show you guys some of the areas that you might be missing. Appreciate that. Everyone should like it. It's free and helps you out. I appreciate it, Arnold. I really do. Yeah, it helps out a lot. Hoping to get some more viewers in here from some outsiders, I guess you could say, to be able to help and grow the channel. We did actually hit, I want to thank everybody. I think we actually hit 180, if I'm not mistaken, 179, 180 subscribers this week. We picked up several, so thank you guys for that. If you're one of those subscribers, I appreciate it. We did a short describing some of the cost of goods and stuff that we do, and hopefully that was helpful. That was something that it took me way too long to figure out. Even though it's so simple, I just never gave it a thought. Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it. Sorry, I didn't catch it. Do you sell everything on eBay? I would say right now 75% is on eBay. The other 25% is Amazon. Amazon is one of those I do FBM, so fulfilled by merchant. I don't do FBA anymore. I've got a few things in there, but I don't do it as of right now. Especially with all the changes they're going through. We talked about that a little bit with Arbitrage Garage over on the last episode. So if you check that out, we discussed some of that as well. But yeah, I don't. I'm kind of turning away from Amazon a little bit as much as I can, but there's just certain things that sell super well over there and don't have as many issues with that I'm going to continue to sell. And we'll probably dig in that. That's another good idea. And actually, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to write that down. I don't have a pen though, so I guess I won't. Let's try to remember that. Maybe that's another topic we can cover in another video. Some of the areas that I do and don't sell over there on Amazon, because it does vary quite a bit. But for the majority of it, I am eBay. On all and most of these sales that I'm showing you guys are all from eBay this past weekend. We've got this New York Yankees hat going out. Again, paid $10 to $12 for these and sold this one for $45, going to New York. And we are going to remove the tag because the retail on this was $41.99. I don't remember who I was talking to, but hats, just because there's a retail on a hat doesn't mean you have to sell less than that. People will pay more than retail for hats if they can't get them currently. Not related to your topic, but it seems like the sound is quite low again. Is anybody else having issues with the sound? I'm not sure what else I can do here, because I did try to edit the noise reduction, so maybe we'll try that again. Appreciate you letting me know, Arnold. If anybody else is having issues with the sound being quiet and can let me know, I'd appreciate it. I've got another setup that I want to do using a different mic setup and stuff. I haven't had a chance to test it out, and that's the only reason I haven't switched over. But yeah, if anybody else is having issues with the video audio, please let me know. I would appreciate it. I'll try to look into that again, Arnold. Like I said, I did adjust it, so I was hoping that would fix it. But if it didn't, I'll have to take a little bit more time and dig into it. Right. Let's see. Next item on the sold list, Gas X. If you guys have been watching my videos, you know I sell this pretty much regularly. I've only got, I think, 8 more boxes of this. Picked this up at a bin store for 50 cents a piece, and we are selling them for $13 each. Somebody bought 2 of them, so for $26. Can't go wrong with that. I do have that on a buy more promotion, so they might have actually, yeah, they saved $1.30, so $24 instead of 26 on these. You never know what you can sell. I never would have thought of that. This is part of the whole bin store thing, getting to know your bin store, and you can get better deals. This was one of those. They had tons of them in the bins, and I knew they weren't going to be able to get rid of them all that week, so I asked them if they'd take a better offer. And the bin store owner at the time was super helpful with that, and he knew he could get rid of it all quick to me and didn't have to have it sitting in his bins all week to sell, you know, on their 50-cent day. He went ahead and sold it to me at 50 cents because I took, like I said, I think I ended up with like 100 of them. We're down to 8, so you never know what you can sell. Just be careful if you do sell that type of stuff on eBay. Make sure it's in date, or make sure it's in date, and make sure it's something that you're allowed to sell. I got in a bunch of trouble when I first started listing. Had a few 7-day suspensions, which sucked. From just listing stuff that I didn't realize was on the no-no list for medications and stuff. Most of it is expired. That's their biggest thing. And over the counter. If it's not over the counter, obviously you can't sell it. That's kind of common knowledge. But these here are not one of those items, so we are able to. Let's see here. I'm really bummed. I want to cover some of these topics. Oh, there's my pen. I'm going to grab a pen, guys, because I'm terrible with remembering things. But I want to make a note of some of these topics so we can cover them in later videos. If you guys have any topic ideas, let me know. I know I say that all the time, and I feel like I'm repeating myself a ton in these, but then again, I don't know who's watching and who wasn't before. But I'm serious, if you guys have any ideas or things that you would like to hear about or things that you want to just discuss, doesn't have to be something, you know, I know all the answers to. But even if it's a different idea, I want to cover them as much as I can in these videos to keep it more interesting. That way we're not just watching the same thing over and over again for you all that do watch this later on. Let's see, talk about, what was I just talking about? Oh, the restricted items, restricted eBay items. because that is a huge thing as a beginner. If you're not into that, it can really get you in trouble. And we can talk about some of the stuff that I had to deal with that. What was that other idea, guys? Does anybody remember? I had another idea I wanted to talk about, and I already forgot it. And that's why I got to write them down. If you think of it, leave a comment. I appreciate it. Or in the chat. Next up, we sold this base method complete learning. This is something from around my house. I got this when I was in junior high, I think. Started to learn the bass guitar. Didn't get very far with it, but we did sell it, and it actually sold used $14.99, and the retail price is $14.99. I did not realize that when I listed it. So, very good condition. You know, a few minor issues here and there. It's got some paper clips in it, but overall great condition, and we did sell that for 15. That's an item around my house. It was free, didn't cost me anything, and we're going to make, you know, $10 probably after fees on it, so cannot complain with that. Now the question is, do I have an envelope to ship this in, a padded? It's not gonna work. I may not have an envelope. Let's see, will it fit in this one? I doubt it. Books I do ship in paddeds for the most part, especially if they're softback already. You're not really going to have an issue with them getting too badly damaged, but you never know. Idea, what items sell better on different platforms? Yeah, there we go. Thank you. That's exactly what I was going to talk about. Mainly the Amazon categories that I sell, that I find sell better on Amazon. One of the things with that, if you are already on Amazon, I'm going to tell you right now, every category of item pretty much sells better on Amazon than it does on eBay. The issue is going to be whether or not that you deal with returns and customer issues, or returns mostly, and overall just kind of how the cost goes with it. You can a lot of times get a better price on eBay or a better price on Amazon than you can on eBay for a lot of items. But if it's a shoe or something like that, you're going to deal with returns, so you don't actually make any more money. Not to draw you back to the Lego topic at all, but empty boxes sell really well. Yes, some Millennial Profits iPad cases, boxes from the bigger Lego sets sell really well. That is very true. No problem. Hey, feel free to comment. You don't have to worry about drawing me. If I'm stuck on a topic, I'll try to circle back around to it. But don't feel like you gotta hide your comments or anything like that. That is true. Lego boxes, shoe boxes, you can sell empty Nike shoe boxes. Better to sell in bulk probably, but you can still make a couple bucks on empty shoe boxes, especially with Nike. I don't know about Adidas and some of those brands unless it's a higher end shoe. But empty shoe boxes. Legos, I have a bunch of Lego boxes that I need to get listed. I have the sets too. I might list the sets. I don't know. But I took them out and, you know, built them and everything else and took them back apart. And that you can make some really good money, especially if they're older. Older sets that aren't produced. I'm crazy. I like Lego boxes. I've been one of those people that I hated to take them out of the box because I actually like displaying the box just as much as I like displaying the pieces, and they're a lot easier to keep clean. So I completely understand the whole box thing, especially if you've got sets that are older. It would be something that I personally would do too. Trying to find this label, folks. My labels keep falling off my wall here. My gravitating labels aren't being able to gravitate. That's not the right word. Levitate too easily. We're looking for egg. Believe it or not, that is the name on the order. EGE. Maybe is that not how it's pronounced? That may not be how it's pronounced. I apologize if you're watching this and you hear me butchering your name. Let's see here. Got some labels stuck together. That's fantastic. Oh, I can't find this one. There it is. Of course, the last one that I look at. But yeah, all kinds of, as far as selling different categories, like I said, on Amazon, it's going to be whether or not you have to deal with returns and the sell through rate stays. You're always going to, I feel like, always going to be able to sell more on Amazon than eBay just because you have such a higher viewer count. The people that use Amazon to eBay is astronomically different. So the only problem with that, though, too, sometimes is you are competing for the lowest price on Amazon. Any experience with diecast? No, I don't. I've on and off collected Hot Wheels before. I think my dad's done the model, like the airplane diecast and stuff like that, but not really any experience with them. There is money in them for sure. I've sold some randoms that I've come across, whether it was discount stores or something like that, and made some really good money. Sold a bus I paid $10 for like 80, I think, a die-cast VW bus. So there's definitely money in it for sure. But I don't have a whole lot of experience with it. Next up item that we've got is this New Era Chicago White Sox hat. This I actually think came from. I don't think this came from a bulk deal. I don't have a tag on it, and I've had it for over a year now. But I think we wouldn't have paid more than like $13 if even if we picked it up from a Burlington, and it did sell for 49, 45, $45 for that, and it is going to Puerto Rico. So 7 7/8. That's a big hat too. So the big hats do sell. They just might take a little bit longer to get there. For Mr. Carlos, there he is. Yeah, diecast. No, not a whole lot of experience with diecast. Although I would enjoy it. I think the only thing that would be would be takes up a little bit more space depending on what you're buying. I recently started collecting Hot Wheels as well, specific models, but I'm wondering whether it's scalable. I don't know. I'm sure it's scalable. Uh, Everything is scalable up to a certain point. But I don't know what the market is. I know some of the guys in Bread and Butter do the Hot Wheels drops, like the newer, like limited edition ones and stuff like that. I know that some of those guys do those. Uh, I'm sure it's a possibility, but I feel like if you're stuck with, a minor like one brand, for instance, Lego. Lego's huge, so it's not as bad, but you might find it a little bit harder to constantly find sourcing for it. That I could see maybe being an issue. Um, but everything is scalable. You just gotta have the right contacts. I think that's the biggest thing. Let's see, something didn't work right with my label here. Let's try that again. There we go. All right, so that's going out. Another hat for the hat sale. And moving on to the next one. Let me check and see. Did I miss anything on my pickup? Oh, let's talk about the check I got in the mail. We actually did file a claim for the missing item. So I talked about a little bit about how that item was scanning. They would scan as in possession at pickup, and then it wouldn't scan at all. And I had 2 or 3 of those over a month period that happened, different days. All the other items that went out that day scanned, but for some reason that particular one didn't. And I went and talked to the supervisor about it, and that's when he told me he was going to look into it and call the hub and stuff like that. But I actually filed a claim already. I wasn't sure if I was going to get it because when he was talking to me, he said a lot of times that scan, it shows that it was in the scan sheet, which they don't get a scan sheet from me, so I don't know if he was thinking of somebody else or what, but it's like if it's in the scan sheet, it won't scan. They just take it as a whole thing, and I knew it might be an issue with the insurance claim. You have to wait 15 days, I think, from the time of delivery is when you can file the insurance claim for priority mail. We filed it and actually got $89 back for that item, and that was the one reason I cared about it is because it was a more expensive item. But yeah, we ended up getting it back, so that was super super nice. So we got the refund from that. All I had to do was provide them with the eBay invoice, and obviously the tracking showed it hadn't moved or hadn't gone anywhere and it was lost. So happy with that. Was kind of surprised. I did not expect to actually get my money back from that missing item, but every now and then the post office will surprise you. Never know. This item here is a Briggs & Stratton pressure washer surface cleaner. This is something I had in my garage forever. I don't even have a pressure washer anymore, but I decided to list it, and it did sell for $79. So sold for 80 bucks. Again, $80 I had listed or I had sitting in my garage. There you go. You want to start into getting into reselling, find stuff like this in your house or stuff that you're not using, and put it up for sale. There's 80 bucks to go buy more inventory with. Super quick, super easy. We are going to slap the label right on the side of this one and just ship it like that. That's how it came to me, actually. So we'll go ahead and do it that way. What's going on here with my tracking? So $0 into $80. Cannot complain with that at all. Thank you guys for sticking around. Do appreciate it. We're going to wrap up here pretty quick. Don't have too many more items here. But we do have the San Francisco Giants, right? They're the Giants. I think they're Giants. Yeah, they're Giants. I don't pay attention to baseball that much. Sorry. It sold for $45, and we paid $12 for it. Going out to, I don't know that name, Meyer, I guess. It is a 7 1/8. Ooh, gotta make sure I grabbed the right one, and I didn't. So that's something, guys, that I struggle with when doing these. Is I struggle if I get the same item, I tend to send it to the wrong person. So this one is $41.99. Gotta make sure I send the right size to the right person, because we actually sold 2 of these over the weekend. Alrighty. That one going out. What do we got next here? Oh, the next one, yeah. So right in line. Oh wait, this is Meyer too. Oh, this is Meyer, different name. Wow, 2 different names. Okay. Sorry, getting sidetracked already. Gotta find this label. And I don't see it. Now we're in trouble, guys. This is what happens when I start not paying attention. Well, that is the 1/8. Okay. So what did I do wrong here? Did I not scan it? Nope, I didn't scan it. Wow. Getting confused. This is what I'm sure I've missed more of these too, but every now and then I do. I just forget to scan boxes, and then with trying to talk to you guys and stuff at the same time, it gets a little tricky. But that's how it goes. All right, we got that one done. Next up on the sold items list, we have this rock and roll jukebox. This was a CD collection I bought at a bin store. There was actually 10 of them in the package. It was a full 10 case of whatever these are. Comes with like 4 discs of rock and roll hits, I guess. Conway Twitty, Buddy Holly, Chubby Checker, Little Richard, all those guys on here. We've been selling these for $15. Like I said, we have a little less than $1 in each of these because there were 10 of them in a box. So I paid $8 for the box of 10, and we sold those. Something that I don't even know, I bought it quickly just because I comped it, and one was selling for 10, one by itself. And sure enough, we've been able to get 15 for them, no problem, which is super cool. So can't complain. Cannot complain when you can make, you know, $10, $12 off an item and it only costs you $1 to buy. That's the type of inventory you really want to find, if at all possible, especially when you're starting off. So we got that going out. I didn't realize CDs were still a thing, but apparently people still listen to them. Do you guys have a CD player? I don't think I even have one. I don't, not that I know of, at least. But yeah, they still sell. So going to George here in looks like Missouri. So George in Missouri. See if I can find that label here real fast. So what are the plans for this week? What do you guys have going on? Let's see. Oh, I didn't see your comment, man. Sorry. I try to keep line clearance and only pick orders and pack them one at a time. Not sure if that's workable. I just try to keep line clearance and only pick up orders and pack them one at a time. Not sure if that's workable with the amount of orders though. Yeah, for me, I'd be running back and forth quite a bit, doing taxes as we speak. Oh, bro, sorry. Sorry for you. Yeah, taxes. Mine are done, thankfully. I don't envy you there. Yeah, I don't. The reason for that is just because I end up with 10 to 15 orders a day on average. So for me, it just isn't feasible to run back and forth from the garage or whatever to do that. When I'm not talking and trying to keep a conversation going, it's a lot easier, I'll be honest. But other than that, you know, it's just sort of, I'll normally separate some stuff and kind of keep it separated by categories or something like that. But it just varies. Everybody has a different idea of doing it. When you do end up with more orders, though, it does take a lot more time. This next item that we sold is some Cooler Master power cables. These are actually power cables for a power supply for a computer. I ended up with a whole bunch of these that my dad gave me. He had sitting in his office or wherever it was for a long time. I've had these for literally probably 10 years, I think now. No, it's longer than that. Probably 10 years, over 10 years. I finally decided to list them. I found them in a box in the garage. Finally decided to list them, and we sold just this random assortment for $20. I actually have 4 more of these that have fan controllers and everything with them, and those are listed, I think, for 30 or 40. So again, no money. These were given to me just because he knew I could probably sell them, and he didn't want to mess with them. He sells now, so he probably wishes he wouldn't have given me those, but no, I'm sure he doesn't care. But yeah, we sold that for $20. Free into 20, we'll take that all day long, for sure. Doing taxes, man, they've gotten a lot better since I've gotten better with my bookkeeping, but I still just dread them so much. Cost price calculation here, backtracking. Cost price calculation here, backtracking a full year. Pain in the backbone. It is, yeah. Cost price calculation, dude. It's the boring side. It's the ugly side, I guess you could say, of reselling. But hey, we only have to do it once a year, so, or if you're smart, you do that stuff every month. That helps out a lot. I've started doing that. I've gotten a little bit better about it, doing my end of month numbers, adding them all up, and getting everything listed. That way, at the end of the year, hopefully, it's going to be even shorter. But it is not fun. It is not fun. But at the end of the day, it is kind of nice to be able to see what your profits are, what you made for the year. I love seeing that number. Sometimes it's not the number I wanted to see, but I do like to be able to see how much I'm making, how much I'm spending, and kind of get an idea and it's like a report card for yourself on how you're doing with your business, because it is not always the easiest. Over 2,200 transactions. Once it's done and calculated, I can run a script to calculate the cost of goods sold for every single Lego bar. Yeah, see, wow, 22,000 transactions. That is crazy. So you're doing are you doing like piece selling by pieces? You're not necessarily selling just full sets? You've got to be if you've got that many transactions. That's crazy. That is crazy. Um, yeah, that's the nice thing. If you do have a spreadsheet set up and everything for it, you can do your cost of goods and have a way. I wish there was a way for me to export just my SKU field and then also have my SKU field set up. All my SKUs aren't the same like they should be, the same format. But I wish there was a way to pull all that and just be able to look at it. But I haven't gotten that. If I get too much board time, then I'll go through and fix everything, and then it would help me out. It'd be much easier if I didn't sell on Amazon. eBay takes like 10 minutes to figure out. Amazon is a pain with the fees and stuff everyone forgets about. Yeah. Yeah, I don't doubt it, especially with FBA for sure. Amazon would be a whole nother level of taxes. Mine, yeah, like I said, mine went a lot easier this year. It looked off to me, and that's what kind of surprised me is I wasn't paying attention to when I was doing my numbers, um, basing my income off of what I sold versus what was actually my bank account was all off because of fourth quarter. All my payments from Amazon specifically and some eBay weren't coming in until like January because of how delayed they are. So like my sales were super high, but my money coming in wasn't matching. It took me forever to figure that out, and then it dawned on me that I had so much money coming in from Amazon payments in January that were actually technically sales in the last month. That it just threw me, and finally got it figured out. I hope I got it figured out right, but it really threw me off with that. 25,000 items sold on Amazon alone this year. That is crazy. I wish I had my numbers. I don't have them with me, and I can't remember exactly what they were. I wish I had my numbers for that, on how many items I sold, because I don't think it's that high, but it was a lot higher than I thought it was going to be. This next item, you can't really tell what it is, but these are actually retractable golf cart seat belts picked up from a bin store for $7 or $8, and we sold these ones for 60 plus $7 shipping, I believe. I don't normally charge shipping, extra shipping, but these are going to Puerto Rico over £1, and so I do add an extra shipping charge for that just to cover it, because it can cost a little bit more. Not always, and honestly, lately it hasn't been, but I do have it just in case to kind of cover my bases. but it is going over there. We are going to cheat a little bit and slap a label right on this box. We're going to tape it up a little bit better too. We did open this and verified everything was there, and we sold it as open box as well. So let's just go right here with it. So let's tape this up. Seat belts. That's what's interesting. If you guys aren't familiar with bin store sourcing, you never know what you're going to find in there, and you never know what's going to sell from what you find in there. Seat belts were not one of them, but for a golf cart, I guess it makes sense. It's not like it's going to be driving crazy fast that you would just buy some seat belts off Amazon or eBay for them. All right. Next item. Man, you guys have me all nervous about doing taxes, and I don't even have to do them. Let's back in the past. I do try to do my taxes earlier this year, though. I didn't want to wait until the end, so I did try to get them done a lot quicker. So that was helpful. And just get it out of the way. Don't have it sitting there hanging over your head. That's what I think. But honestly, I wouldn't have been able to if some of my stuff didn't come in really quick this year. I wasn't waiting on any W-2s or anything like that. Another one of these Yankees hats, 12 bucks going out. Sold it for 45. Going to, where is this going to? Millbrae, California. Oops. Take this one up backwards. Thank you guys for those of you sticking around. I appreciate it. I know this video is going a little long and might be a little bit boring, but I'm always here. Figure I'll hang out until we're done shipping and talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. So I appreciate it as always for you guys that are sticking around, and appreciate those that have subscribed. If you haven't subscribed already, would appreciate that. I say appreciate a lot. I'm noticing that, but it is true. Thank you guys for those who have already done it. It just helps me out. Hopefully going to be able to grow the channel a little bit. I'm not looking to be a big YouTube rock star, but I do want to be able to share and talk with you guys and be able to put something out there that not everybody else is offering at the moment. And hopefully you guys enjoy. We have some Crocs. I haven't sold Crocs in a minute. These came from the Finish Line sale. I think we paid, I don't have it in front of me, but I think we paid like $10, $12 for these. And we sold them for $49.99. So not a bad deal there. Going out to Beth in Carver, Massachusetts. These are a small size. These are like a women's 6, I think. Women's 6, men's 4. So they take some time to sell. And they're lined. So normally they'll sell really good through the winter. It took me a minute for these ones to sell. But these are the last pair. I bought 6 or 8 at the time when I bought them. I like to keep my money as long as I can before. Well, yeah, that is true. Yeah, spending is much more fun that way, right? It is. Yeah, the whole thing with sending the money to Sam, I get that for sure. I think the reason I would like doing it and maybe not just filing them until the last minute, but I just can't stand to have that in the back of my mind. I'm constantly thinking, oh, that's what I got to do. That's what I got to do. I hate that. So that's why I did it early this year. And it's made my life a little less stressful for sure. Let's see, my bag's getting kind of filled up here. Got 1 or 2 more things to go here, guys. Any questions, any comments, anything you guys have been on your mind or had on your mind, feel free to let me know here while we wrap this up. We've got some track cleats, Nike Air Zooms, going out to Lisa in Hanover, Pennsylvania. Bought these for, let's see, I didn't put it on there. Maybe it's on the box. Let's find out. These are golf cleats. Sorry, not track cleats. I think I said track cleats. We paid $19.99 at Burlington for them. They are a size women's 7.5. But we need to take that tag off. And we did sell them for $54.99. Cleats are back in season, thankfully. I've missed selling cleats. And these laces are undone. Let me quickly do that. I love selling cleats. I don't know about you guys. It's one of my favorites. That and hats, as I mentioned, but they sell well. Of course, it does take some time. If you're not in the right season for them, they're not going to sell super fast, but they still do sell during that period. And I'm hoping we can find some more. I think they've been popping up at Burlington's. I just haven't had a chance to get in there and check them out. unfortunately. Hopefully that'll change here shortly. But like I said, we did sell those. Picked them up for 20 bucks. I did pull that tag off, right? I can't remember if I pulled the tag. I probably did. I'm sure I did, didn't I? Oh, yes, I did. Okay. All right. I couldn't find the tag in the garbage either, so oh well. But yeah, we sold those for 50. Did I say 54? Yeah, 54.99. Not a bad price for sure. And I'm sure the customer likes it. That's one of the nice things about these cleats is when you can buy them for 20, you can sell them for 50. They're probably $100 new anyways. And so everybody wins. Everybody gets a good deal. It's not like you're selling at retail. I mean, I'm going to sell whatever I can sell, but customers are all really grateful and always leave really good feedback when they can get half off on a Nike cleat. And little do they know you paid half, less than half on that as well. Cleats are great till Red Carpet Guy gets the same one. Yeah. So for those of you who aren't in bread and butter, Red Carpet Guy is a guy on eBay. If you've ever searched any kind of Burlington shoes or Ross shoes, now I think he's even got some of the Dick's Sporting, or not Dick's, the Academy Sporting Goods shoes. He posts all his photos with like a red rug or red carpet underneath, and he tanks the daylights out of every single item. I'm talking like stuff that's selling for like 80 bucks, he'll list for like 40 and 50. Um, Pretty much, if he's making any money on his stuff, he's making like $5 a pair, unless he's got something shady going on, stealing them or something like that. Could be. But yeah, he does. I don't pay much attention. I literally don't even consider him when I'm comping. I've heard that name earlier. I've heard the name earlier, and now I get the context. Yeah. Yeah, we refer to him as Red Carpet Guy. It's really bad, and it's getting even worse. Like, I feel like it's gotten a lot worse because of some of the sales and stuff recently. I don't know if he's stealing it. I don't know what he's doing, but he's somehow getting a hold of the same cleats and stuff like that that we are, from these sales and listing them. Just he can't be making any money, so he tanks the price on them. And unfortunately, what that means is you would think, okay, well, if he's listing low, then everybody else will just, wait, or once his item sells, it'll go back up to the price. But the problem with it is everybody's getting a hold of these at the same time. So whatever the lowest price is, people aren't going to pay attention. They're going to see the lowest price, and they're going to try to beat that price. Even if the price is $20, $30, what everybody else is selling for, not very many sellers actually pay attention to what the going price is and what they've been selling for. And so it really makes it rough, like really rough to deal with. And it sucks. It absolutely sucks because you lose out on so much profit when people do that, because then everybody else is listing under that price. And, if you already bought it seeing the higher price, then you're really in trouble. Or if it's something that should be profitable, all because someone's trying to make a quick $5, it ruins everybody else's chances of making $20, $30 an item. And they could have made the $20 or $30 an item. It's unbelievable. You would think Paragraph would ditch the red carpet now that he's been found out, but he keeps using it in his photos. Yeah. I don't know. Paragraph's been working so much. I don't know how much how much sourcing he's getting done. We've got this order I already talked about a little bit, and I already threw the tag away, and I don't remember what it was, but we picked these up for $8, and we did sell this one for $29.99, and that is the retail price. So we're gonna go ahead and leave the retail sticker on it. And box that up. That is a women's hat. Women's hats for me don't sell as fast, but they do still sell, and that was a unique kind of pattern. Somebody I was talking to in Bread and Butter the other day was talking about, buying hats, and you buy them if they're under 5 or 10 or whatever, and you start to realize which hats are going to do well, which styles are unique enough. They're kind of like shoes. If they're ugly, they'll probably sell. It's kind of the similar thing. Sounds like the Lego competition in the Netherlands. A good 3,000 different stores all competing for that sale of the regular items. Yeah, and I get it from like a retail standpoint and stuff like that. But again, if you go to a retail store, very rarely are you going to go to like a Walmart and find out that they have, they're listing it for $20 less than their competition. They're not going to do that. They're going to list it at the retail or a little bit less, $5, whatever sale, whatever they're trying to compete with, they're going to list it at that point. So they're not undercutting each other by $10, $20 on an item because they know it'll sell at that price. But people that aren't used to this game or this idea, Charles Boone, um, they're going to, it's going to be an issue. And I don't, it just, I don't know. It's frustrating. It's frustrating for everybody. And unfortunately, what happens is you're going to have to wait for them to lose money or realize it's not worth their time. And who knows how long that's going to take. And everybody that comes into the game thinks they could just drop the price and it'll sell. And that's not the case. Hats are a perfect example of that. This hat here sold it for 40 bucks, okay? Retails 42 on it. There may have been other listings on this hat, but if I dropped it to 30, it wouldn't sell any faster than it did for 40, just because it takes getting the right buyer to want this particular hat. That's not the case for everything, but if you're in that mindset that you just have to sell everything quick to make your money, um, you're going to lose so much profit that you could have gotten by just holding on to the item for a couple more weeks till it actually sold. It would have sold at 40, so why sell it at 30, if that makes sense? I'm ranting, I know. We're wrapping it up here, guys. I think this is the last item going out. That is the Dodgers hat. Like I said, paid 25 or not 25, $12 for this one, and it did sell for 40 as well. I think that is it, guys. We have a web scraper alerting us for good deals online. It's how competitive the market is. Yeah, that's crazy. I remember we used to do some of that stuff back in the day. I don't mess with it much now. But those alerts and stuff, especially on websites, we would set up alerts for websites. If the price adjusted, it would like notify us and stuff like that. Basically the same thing as a web scraper. Yeah, crazy days. When you're in a niched market like that, I could see it definitely being a thing. Definitely being something you would have to be able to continue. That is going to be it, guys. I think that's all we got to ship. We'll talk about a couple things that sold that we aren't shipping out today. We did sell this hat. Sold it a couple of minutes ago. Sold for $25, and we paid 10. This is one of those 47 trucker hats. This is one of those ones that got tanked really bad. These were selling, I think, for like 30, 35. Retail on them was like 60, or 50, or sorry, 40. Retail's 40 on them. They were selling for 30. Everybody got their hands on them, and now they're down to like 25 is what I'm getting for mine, which really sucks. But I've had them for well over, I think, a year and a half now. So, and there's just so many listings, you kind of do have to adjust it. The other thing that we sold is this Adidas bucket hat. Bucket hats are going to be coming in with the summertime. So we did sell this one here for $24, and I think we paid $8 for these. That one will be going out as well. And then we did sell another set of these Radiance light pods. Again, paid $60, $57 for these, and sold them for 180. What did I just say? They sold for 170 on those ones, and we'll be shipping those out here soon. We had one order that I've got to find, so we'll deal with that one once we get off the thing. But I think that is about it. So thank you guys so much for joining. Let's see. Thanks for being live, man. I always enjoy it. I appreciate it, and thank you guys for sticking around. If you guys have any comments, any concerns, questions, anything like that, let me know. Shoot me a message. I do have links in the description to some of the products that I use. I do make a small commission off of those if you do purchase through the links, but don't feel like you have to. If you find a better deal somewhere else, save the money on your end. But that just gives you some ideas. Definitely check those out. Also got links to a couple other videos you might find interesting down there. We're going to be doing another one of these. If not this week, for sure next week. I'm going to try to get another idea out and something different than just this setup, but it's a little bit harder to do, so we'll see how it comes out. But I do want to do that. If you guys have anything you've been wanting to see, live sourcing I know is a huge request, and I am working on something. I've got an idea in my head on what to do with that. We'll see how it works out. That's a whole nother story, but we'll see how it works out and hopefully get some ideas there, and we'll be able to show you some live sourcing just for something different. But if you have any other ideas, I would greatly appreciate it if you could let me know. But other than that, I think that's going to be it. So thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next one.